the vibe. We are in the kitchen. So today we are going to do something semi new. I've done refrigerator pickles. So I think this is kind of the same thing. I've also done curtido. So I kind of think it's almost kind of the same thing. So this is kind of refrigerated pickled onions. So these are red, purple onions. In the comments below, argue it if you want to. So we are going to do pickled onions pretty much. So what I have here in front of you is a two in the, well, let's put it this way, large, medium, small. I already went ahead and peeled them because the peel was kind of a little funky. They were kind of on the side that, they were, kind of looking sad. So I wanted to see if they were still usable. So I went ahead and peeled them. Off camera, I'm kind of going to go half and kind of go moon slices. I'll show it to you guys when I'm ready to put them in the mason jars. These mason jars are pint size. They are a wide mouth, and I have the weights. I'm very happy with these weights. I just got them. They are kind of heavy. I don't think you need them in this application. The weights I think are for fermentation. I just got them and I want to use them. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to go ahead and use them to keep everything on the bottom while they sit in the refrigerator, at least for the first 24 hours. What I'm going to be using is white distilled vinegar. I don't know if you can use apple cider vinegar. Hey, your kitchen, you use whatever you want. And the application for this is pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio. So water to vinegar is what you're going to be using. I am going to be boiling mines, or it's not a rolling boil. It's just as long as everything comes up to a nice temperature. And at that point you can season yours with whatever you pretty much want to put in it. If you have oregano or thyme or whatnot in your garden, or if you have it dried up in your pantry, then you can go ahead and do that. I don't happen to have any springs of those, so I'm not going to be using that, but I am going to be putting garlic cloves that are kind of mashed up. I do have peppercorn that I put in my pepper mill, so I'm going to be boiling that with the 1-to-1 ratio of the distilled vinegar and the water. I'm going to be using my Redmond real salt, and I'm probably going to put maybe half or a teaspoon, depending on what ratio I use, of my vinegar to water, red pepper flakes. And I'm also going to be putting sugar, which I don't have here in the screen. I just opened a new pack of sugar and I just have some left over, so I definitely do want to use that so I can balance out the acidity. So we're gonna go ahead and chop up these onions, and I'll bring you guys over when I'm ready at the stove. All right, guys, so we are going to start off with 2 cups of vinegar, distilled Goya. My pot is already on. As you can hear it sizzle. And to that, we are going to add 2 cups of water. We're going to go ahead and give that a little mix. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start adding our ingredients that we want to season this liquid. Now you can do measurements, or you can just add from your heart, which I always suggest to. But remember, if you don't want this too spicy, then don't add too much. Onions in itself bring out their own oomph, but according to my husband, he says that these onions are sweeter than the white ones. I don't know. I don't eat onions. At this point, I'm adding about this much of peppercorn. I'm hoping to get at least 2 of these jars full, so we will see. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon, sorry, it's backwards, of the red pepper chili flakes. Hopefully that's not overkill. I don't want them to be too spicy. I actually did not add the full thing because once I looked in there, it looked a lot. Salt, and I'm gonna use the 1 tablespoon, but I don't think I'm gonna fill it completely because this salt is good, but sometimes if I feel like I add too much, it can get, you know, like over salty for me. So I'm gonna add it gradually. Even though this is not for me, I do taste the brine before adding it to the ingredients to make sure that, you know, it is not overly salty. Even though it's something that I don't like. So at this point, it's a tablespoon, but it's this much full, so it's not a full tablespoon. We have the sugar. And I'm pouring it right out the packet because, like I said, it's a package that I opened up to fill up my container, and it has just ever so little bit. And I am baking. I'm baking a carrot cake, and I'm gonna do a banana cake next. And I'm hoping to use this and just, you know, eventually throw it out. I'm gonna do the same thing with the sugar. I'm gonna add almost the equal amount in sugar that I did in salt. So now I'm gonna mix everything. I'm gonna let it come to a simmer, and while this simmers up, I'm gonna continue to cut the onions and crush my garlic. So see you in a bit. All right, guys, so the brine is simmering. It tastes good. It's not too acidic. It's not spicy. It's not salty. But it probably can be overpowering because I have onion hands. But I'm having a problem. Let me shimmy you guys over here. Look at this issue. I made a 2-to-2 ratio over there. I have 2 bowls of onion. It was 3 onions. How did that end up happening? So I don't know if that's enough brine. So my headspace is, should I just add more over there? Should I just do another 2-to-2 ratio? And if I just have leftover brine, put it in the fridge, and when I can get outside, because I want to make a pickled version of hot peppers, and just put that in the fridge on its own and then just reheat it up when I can get outside, because right now it's just raining for like the next 2 days, if I'm not mistaken, so I can't get out there to the garden and pick the hot peppers that I have out there. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add another 2-to-2 ratio and resalt, sugar, and, you know, extra spices that it might need, and then start stuffing these jars because everything else is ready. So let me retouch up the brine, get it back up to temperature, and we should be ready to stuff up these jars. And hopefully this is good for the 3 jars. If not, then I'll just pull out another one. All right, so while we wait for that to come back up to a simmer, I added 2 more cups of water, 2 more cups of vinegar, a little bit more salt, a little bit more sugar. I did not add any more seasoning once it came to peppercorns or red chili flakes or anything else. I left it alone because I think that was already good enough. So let's see how it tastes once it comes back to a simmer, And then if it needs anything else, then I'll go ahead and do it then. But I might leave it alone, but let's see. So let's start stuffing these jars. So I have the garlic here. I think I have, oh God, I lost count. It's either 14 or 16. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to add per jar, but here we are. I have 3 right now. Let's see if these onions are enough or if I have to open another one. So, you know, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. So I figured, you know, let's just do one together. Yeah, you see, this is, yeah, and they're gonna fly all over the place, but you know, this is a working kitchen, guys, so it is what it is. You guys will see the messy, the gritty, and meaty, and all that stuff. So I threw 2 garlics in there. Yeah, you see, I didn't expect to make this much, so I don't know. I might end up freezing some of these because it's only one person that goes through these. And as you can see there, like I can definitely push them down for sure. But yeah, it's just him going through this. So I don't know. We will see what happens. Push comes to shove, like I already stated, have the 2 garlics in there. I will freeze the rest of them, and I'll just have pre-sliced onions available in the freezer for any stir fry, stews, you know, pepper, steak, etc. So I'm not mad about it. It is what it is, but you know, it's nice to be able to try something new. So this one's already ready. I think that's as far as I'm gonna go. Once we are ready to put the brine on it, I'll bring you guys back. I'm gonna do the other 2. I might pull one more so I can have an even 4. I like even numbers. And I'll bring you guys back when we're ready to ladle the brine in. I'll put the weights and we will seal them and put them in the fridge. All right, so we are kind of in the moment of truth. I ended up with 4 jars, none left for the freezer. Now, I pushed them down. You can see some of them are literally full to the brim. The brine is nice and boiling hot, as you can see. And it's enough acidity for me, which usually is good enough for my husband. I have my ladle here, so we are going to start off with this one. I'm giving it a nice little mix so I can get some, you know, a little bit of every ingredient. And we're just gonna start ladling this in. And hopefully it's enough for all 4. You guys will be my witness. Let's hope I don't make a mess. Ooh, okay. I think I reached maximum capacity on that one. So let's go ahead and move the sheet over. That's where I got the weights, guys. So let's see what happens. Let me actually get a bounty so we can do this one together. All right, so she's full. She's up to right here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna go ahead and just move things around. I see, you know, people do this when they're getting ready to like ferment. I guess they call it, what is it, debubbling or whatever it is called. I don't know the complete, you know, lingo of this world. I'm new to it. I am learning. I'm not, like I said, I'm not fermenting this. This is just, you know, pickling. But I assume it's kind of, you know, almost the same strategy. So I'm doing the same thing, so there's no air pockets and everything moves and flows freely. As you can see now, you know, the brine kind of went down just a little bit. Gonna put this back on. You know, this is kind of pressing it, which makes the brine look like it needs, you know, a little bit more. So I'm just gonna go freehand. Hopefully I don't make a mess. All right, now with the weight, that's why I put the Bounty down. Let's see what happens, which is why I want to put the weight. Yeah, so with the weight, some of the brine is gonna come out, which is why I put the Bounty on. The bottom is not gonna help it. So I'm actually losing brine. So this is a learning curve. So I'm gonna keep all of this here. So, you know, if there's a new person out there that's learning with me, will know that. But I should know this because I've watched so many people do this. But as a rookie mistake, I should already know this. I filled it up way too much because this is gonna press it down. So this Bounty is not even picking up enough of it. But it's okay. So as I'm pressing it down so I can continue to keep it down, it's losing so much of its brine. Now I don't want to get burned, but I think that is enough. I don't have to push it anymore because with just that it should close. So I'm just gonna wipe it clean off camera. That should keep it underneath the brine and enough brine in it. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it and cover it, and I'm gonna continue with the other three, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. All right, guys, there you have it. Pickled red onions. I ended up with 4 quart-size jars, and they are ready to go into the fridge and for my husband to enjoy. On the left-hand side is the brine that is left over. Not mad about it because, like I already stated, when I'm able to go into the garden after all this rain is over and Tropical Storm Ophelia is gone, I can pick those peppers, the hot peppers, and pickle them and put them in the fridge as well. So that is it, guys. You guys can see a rookie learning in the kitchen and hopefully mastering skills that she didn't have before. So as always, guys, smash that like button, the subscribe button, and share all around YouTube so that we can grow in this wonderful community. And as always, we will see you guys on our next video.